Okay, so we're back with the day before because I want to talk to you guys about what I've seen watching the footage back. Quite a lot of you pointed out in the comments of my previous video that I made a mistake. There are descriptions to the items and stuff. I've had a look back and you are totally right. There is a description for canned food. However, it's a food source and it doesn't explain how much food it regenerates, like how much of your hunger it regenerates. But we'll get into that main video in a minute. This is a short of supposedly playing the day before. And I'm starting to think maybe it's a real game. They've claimed they've worked on it for 4 years. Maybe they've created vertical slices of their ambitions and what they want the game to be. That's the trailers we've seen up until now. But when they started showing us 2 years ago, they were pretty much just starting the development. Because every single clip we've seen lately is always shot in the exact same place, walking down the same street, having a look at the same backgrounds. For a very long time now, we've seen nothing of that gas station we saw previously. We've seen nothing of that abandoned farmhouse. We've just seen essentially the same street over and over and over again. But looking at this short, if they would have extended this and given us the footage that you see on the screen, if they gave us that in the form of 10 minutes, it would have looked a lot better. There's got to be a reason why this is only a short of the same street but during the day. And a lot of people have said this is just basically cropped so that it fits onto that screen, onto that monitor. But I don't believe that's the case. I think this is actual footage that's on the screen. And I believe that because there's a certain part that you get to and you can see the light change on the person's face. So I think what they're looking at is pre-rendered footage. They're just essentially reacting to it and trying to mimic the movement on screen and stuff. Because there's a couple of things where it looks very out of place with the movement of the mouse and the key pressing on the keyboard. So if we play through this, it's literally 30 seconds of it and then it cuts to their thing where they're saying add to wish list. Apparently it's coming back to Steam very soon. But this part, when we get to this yellow truck, you'll see the yellow reflection on the person's face when they zoom in and when they zoom out. So I think that's actual footage on that monitor. It's just not them playing. Because if we slow down and I change the playback speed, put it on 0.25, and then if we go further into the footage around here, if you have a look very, very closely, if you look at the numbers towards the top of the keyboard, so not the F keys, the ones underneath, the actual numbers, if you have a look, when this person has their middle finger pressed down on the W key to move forward, you can see the number 4. Part of that key is visible. When that key is not pressed, when W is not pressed, you cannot see the number 4. So bear that in mind. When it's pressed, you can see 4. When it's not pressed, you cannot see the 4 key on the keyboard. So as we come through here, you'll see that it's pushed down. They're walking forwards because you can see part of the 4 key. And then as they reload in a moment, they press it. The character is still moving forward and their finger is not pressed down on the W key. So that character is moving forward for that amount of time with no key press. That is very, very off. There's got to be a reason this is only 30 seconds because this footage looks so much better than the 10-minute trailer we got. And then switching over to that trailer, I'm just going to be skipping through this one. There is just a couple of parts that I want to talk to you about. I think their main focus has been the art on this character, if I'm completely honest. And there's been people saying it looks like a character from The Last of Us. It looks like Lara Croft. Very, very similar styles. But I would say it's probably just a generic female. That's all they've created. But you'll see, as we're going through this neighborhood, there's a lot of buildings that are boarded up in the game. And you'll see the ones that you can enter seem to have their porch light on. And the developers focus on this, whoever's playing, because this light over here on the right-hand side, if it gets brighter, and then look, oh, it comes on, you can see the reflections and stuff. They look at that house and then look away. And then you go into the other one that has the porch light on. But then when we get into the building, if we go in and we go past all the customization of the weapon and stuff, another thing people have pointed out is the stats don't change when there's different things equipped. They do, but it's a weird system. Because sustainability, when you put in different mods on the gun, that grayed out bar goes up, but the white bar itself doesn't move. So We don't understand anything. There's so many questions left from this gameplay footage we've seen. Okay, and with the canned food, I've just noticed it's energy, water, or like thirst, and then health. So there should be something from that canned food that we'll go through in a minute when I like show you the description for it popping up. There should be something from it to say this is going to restore 2 energy. It's going to restore, I don't know, 5 thirst or whatever. But there's nothing like that at all. But after the customization, we go into the kitchen and look at this, what is it? It's a cooker. Look at the cooker. And there's also a room. Over here, they completely ignore this room. They don't enter it whatsoever. And there's so many opportunities for them to show better footage, and they choose not to. But you come in here and you can see on the cooker, there's reflections and stuff on there, but you can't see the character whatsoever. And I don't know if it's a perspective thing or something like that, but it's an odd one, to say the least. Then we go back outside and you're killing the zombies or whatever, but you can see these pop-ups here as if to say, oh, you can interact with this vehicle. And they don't show you any of that stuff. But not only that, in the short they played, there were a lot more people on screen. It looked like there was PvP combat going on. So I don't know why they've put that in a short as if to say, oh, look, this is real, and then given us this gameplay trailer, which has completely thrown people off. But then they go into this, what is it, FCC, what's it called? Fried Crispy Chicken. They go in here and the alarm's already sounding. They need to interact with that keypad to turn the alarm off. So why is there not a single zombie in this building? And in another building they go into, there's an announcement saying, like, if you're a survivor, blah, 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 so on and so forth. Why is that announcement only in one building? Like, the sounds they're making should be triggering attention from zombies and stuff. And there should be zombies in this building because the alarm has been going off. They've just had to disable it. And then we get to, where is it? Here. Like, why are you not searching that ambulance? There's an opportunity to search that, but they completely ignore the ambulance and they come over to this yellow truck. And then we get further along and they're looking at all these different buildings. Oh, look, you can enter that building, but they don't go in there. So they go into the natural market, and this is where the announcement was going off that I was talking about. But they loot this at the back. They find the canned food there. Then they go out into the alleyway and they killed a couple of zombies. And then as they're progressing through, they start to make their way out of the alley. And they drink this. When they're hovering over it, there's no description for the item. They start using it in the inventory, then come out of it for some reason. I don't know how any of this works. As I said, there's so many questions. But here, for a split second, I don't know if I'm going to have to slow down the playback speed. No, we got it. So, this is showing canned tuna in its own juice, rich in calcium and magnesium, delicious fish of excellent quality. So it's got a 0.5 carry weight, and it's got 1 of whatever that is. It doesn't tell you if it restores some energy, it doesn't tell you if it takes energy, it doesn't tell you anything about thirst, if it replenishes health, or anything like that. So it's simply just a description. And you would think with that being a food, that it restores some sort of a stat. But it doesn't tell you any of that, and you only get to see that description for a brief second. And then after that, it's pretty much just more of the walking simulator stuff, just looking around at things and like, oh look, we created a skyscraper, how cool is that? And then there's so many buildings that look as though they should be open, but they're just not. And so many buildings are boarded up. It looks as though this is set a long time after the zombie apocalypse, and there's been a lot of survivors, but it's just empty. And then all we do is we get into this building, we walk around the corner, we pop a couple of zombies, we've got an idiot teammate with us that's got an unsuppressed weapon, and then there's a zombie that seems to be a little bit tougher than the others, just running at us, headshot, dead, and that is it. And then they get that like creepy voice that we showcased in the last video, November 10th, 2023, add to wish list. And they've done that and asked everyone to add it to the wish list before they've even put the game, like got the game back on Steam. So that was a look at the short and the gameplay trailer. That was a breakdown of things that I spotted that were out of place and looked weird. As I said, there are so many questions, and I've got a feeling everything's going to go quiet again for a very long time, like 6 months or something. It will all go quiet. or they might do a little teaser trailer or something when they like get the game restored on Steam or whatever, because they just keep trying to create hype, and I don't know how long they're going to be doing it for. I don't think this game's going to be released in November. I do believe they have some sort of like product at least now. But could this be that they created the vertical slice to get people on board, like Nvidia and things like that, and now they've just recently started the development? Like, they had some things there developed already, but they've started the proper development because there was a massive downgrade in the character models. And they're supposed to be working on Unreal Engine 5. They're supposed to be ray tracing and everything like that, and it just didn't look that good graphically. It's a very weird one, but that was my breakdown of the gameplay trailer and the short. And what we're going to do is leave that video there. Let me know your thoughts and stuff about this in the comments, and check out this video if you want to see other content on the channel. I will see you in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.